I also remember kind of the backlash in the sense of a lot of people calling our group the quota system.
It's okay, they're trying their best. I appreciate it.
But there's definitely a need to stay in South Africa and improve our conditions, especially to motivate other people to also want to
Hi there, and welcome to Pursuit of Happiness. I'm Nita, and thank you so much for joining and listening to this part of my journey. I decided to do this series because I truly believe in the idea of growing through conversations and experiences. But since COVID has robbed us from all types of experiences, we have decided to do things within conversation, with friends, with other people, just to grow and to grow as individuals, as a community, as just, yeah. So I thought it was fitting for the first part of our conversation to be surrounding finding your identity. And all three of us here are like, oh, I should introduce you guys by now. I'm so sorry. So I'm sitting here with beautiful, lovely ladies. I feel like we should introduce yourselves because you know yourselves more.
Okay, I'll start. Hi everyone, my name is Nsuku. I am a first year master student.
Hi, my name is Kamano, but everyone calls me Kimmy or Kimberly or Kim. I go by a lot of names and none of them belong to me, but it's fine. Anyways, I am also a first year master student. We're all studying physiology. Yeah, but in different disciplines, cancer, neuro, and cardio, and HIV.
Yeah. So today, as I said in the beginning, we want to talk about the idea of finding identity within spaces. And I felt like since we're both all women of color in a field that's not really filled with women of color, finding our identities within the space is a critical part of actually surviving within the space. So, yeah. So just as a brief, why do you want to go? Why did you choose to go into science?
Either one of you can start.
So I've honestly always wanted to do science. It wasn't anything that I don't know if that makes sense, but I literally used to do weird experiments outside when I was a wee girl, and I just put soap, I'd put handy Andy detergent, and then like soap. I just put all these things and then be like, yeah, I just cured the cancer for English. Yo. But I would always do like weird experiments by myself, which didn't make any sense at all. Obviously, I was a child, but then I always knew that I wanted to be a scientist, and I always knew that I wanted to find the cure for cancer, of which there are many cures, but it's not cured yet. So yeah, I've just always known that that's where I needed to be. It hasn't been easy, mind you. Science is hard.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't choose science. Science chose me. Initially, I didn't want to go into science. It's not something that I saw myself doing. But now that I am going into science, I think I've fallen more and more in love with it, and it's something that I actually might want to stay in forever.
Oh.
Yeah, like I'm actually really enjoying it, and I'm enjoying like the project that I'm doing now. So I'm very excited to see where everything goes, and I think science can do a lot of good if you use it right. So that's what I want to do: use science the right way.
Yes. Yay, snaps to that. I think I have a similar story because I think we've had this conversation a lot of times, with tears sometimes.
Yes.
About I think just our educational system doesn't really introduce people to science. If you're good in biology or you're good in maths, medicine, or anything that's a known medical field like nursing, OT, physio, pharmacy, those are kind of the things that you're more inclined to pursue. But I think, you know, God works in mysterious ways and He opens you up to things that you never thought actually existed. Like you've heard about like a biochemist, or I know about what a physiologist was.
Yes.
So it's like a blessing in disguise in a sense, but also finding myself in that has been a journey, and also like to know you guys' journey in that. Okay, so when you kind of think of the future of science and the future of women in science. Like, where do you see us going in our, like, in this industry as women? Do you see us, I don't want to say we are blossoming in this current state now, but we do see there's still kind of a segregation even in like the awards we're given. There's always a separate category for or specific only woman or only women of color kind of category for like awards and stuff. Do you think as time goes we can actually be like a more integrated field, not just like, oh, you guys are the outliers and more kind of being the norm?
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm so sorry to jump right
No,
in.
go.
But I definitely think that in future that is what is going to happen, that we will be more integrated because there's 3 of us right now.
Yeah.
And that is actually a lot more than people actually think about in the physiology department, especially we're in Stellenbosch University. It's the diversity ranges
Christian.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's actually a very big deal, to be honest, that the 3 of us are at Stellenbosch University in our masters, and we want to go further. And I think the more girls, black girls specifically, go into science and they do whatever they want to do and learn more, then we'll definitely be more integrated. Then I don't think there will be a need to be like, oh, this black girl did it. They'll be like, oh, there's so many black girls doing it.
That's the thing, because I remember like our year of honors was the highest rate of people of color within the honors group, and I also remember kind of the backlash in the sense of a lot of people calling our group the quota system group. And do you think like do you think ideologies like affirmative action and quota systems help or disadvantage people of color actually having their accomplishments being probably praised, instead of them being things of like, oh, it's because do you think those things diminish our accomplishments because people think that we are not capable enough in our own capacities to achieve our own accomplishments?
I personally feel like the quota system is a good thing, because if it wasn't there, we wouldn't be here to begin with. Well, not we wouldn't be here, we would be here because we're really smart, but I feel like we wouldn't have been given a platform to be able to come into the place and to be able to study here. And it is good and it's also bad in the sense of people would be like, oh yeah, but you're only here because like they felt bad for you. But at the same time, you have this opportunity to prove yourself in a way that you wouldn't have been able to had you not been given an opportunity to come into the place. I don't know if that makes sense. But obviously there's still a lot of change that needs to happen, and that's why we're here to start that change and to start those conversations, and hopefully they will start looking at POCs as people who deserve to be here and not people who are just like, we feel bad for you so you come in.
Yeah, I actually have a lot on that topic specifically, but I'm not going to get too into it. All I'm going to say is your work speaks for yourself.
Yeah.
That is it. So it doesn't matter what other people have to say, as long as you are doing what you are meant to be doing and you're doing it at 150%, then let your work speak for itself.
Speaking about your work, do you feel like there's a pressure of becoming the model POC, in the sense of like how you act, how you speak, how you if you get a bit angry, making sure you don't raise your voice, don't like, give the person, our look that we get when someone says something, you like try to like withhold those kind of lacquerisms that we have just because you're in the space.
And it's not, it goes further because like it affects how you even approach people. You feel like you can't ask for help because it makes you seem like you actually don't know what you're doing. Of which you don't know what you're doing. But like,
nobody does in the beginning.
Exactly. But like you have this like weight of like having to know everything and be better and do this, that you actually can't even like approach people and be like, hey, I need help because of all these things, and then that puts you at a disadvantage, so yeah.
I also feel like you get to a place where so much of the stuff is put on you and you're expected to perform at 150 to a point where you start to do it to yourself without even realizing it. Like earlier this year, I had so much work to do on my proposal, and I was not feeling well, like I was sick. But then I was just like, I need to keep pushing because first of all, I'm a woman of color and I'm expected to do things even when I don't feel like it. I've had other women of color tell me like, yeah, that person is allowed to do A, B, C, and D, but you're a black woman, you're not allowed to do that. You have to work, you can't be lazy, you need to do things all the time. And I think we also start to like propagate those things on us, and we start pushing ourselves to work even harder, even when we don't feel like it, and it's not the best.
I don't even want to say when you don't feel like it, when you're not able.
Yeah.
Because that's literally, you were not able.
You can't like not feel like it, you have to work.
Like for me, I've been going to therapy. Praise God. And we've been talking about the idea of internalized pressure and how the world may actually not be putting all this stuff on you, but I think just systematically and what you have observed just being a person of color living in the world, you see how people view you, and then you internalize that so much that you can never give yourself a break. You can never give yourself grace. Like you can give grace to anyone else besides yourself because you think, but you need to be better because you can't get these people or let these people know, or like let the stereotypes they may have of you like propagate in their minds. Like even like for me, I'm so cautious about like even how I smile because there's always this rumor that black people smile. So like I always used to chew gum all the time.
Oh yes.
And like all the time I'm chewing gum, and now I get so bloated from chewing gum because I get so bloated from chewing gum, and I still do it because Tom is like, thank God for masks, honestly. You know? But like just that, like to the point of actually self-harm in the sense of like trying to prove this ideology of being the model POC.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't know, growing up or just like not caring anymore, and like, yo guys, I'm tired, so I'm taking a nap. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you're allowed.
Yeah.
Like you're allowed.
I think also, just like with that, do you think also family dynamics, our parents don't really understand or like never been exposed to science in this capacity? I think, or like, I don't know, personally, my parents haven't been exposed to science in this capacity of like anything outside. I think pharmacy is like the highest form of like a scientist they know of. Do you think that family pressures and family identities of a job, or like asking what are you going to do after you're going to graduate and what is exactly this degree, do you think those ideologies also kind of
pressure you?
In the sense, you know?
For me personally, like my parents are supportive, but then they're not supportive in a way that you'd expect them to be, if that makes sense. Like my parents are just like, oh, you're doing great, like take a break if you need a break. And like at the beginning of this period, my parents were like, you need to come home, and I'm just like, I need to still be at the lab. You guys don't understand, it's not what you think it is. But I also get this weird pressure where I feel like my parents have ideas of what they expect me to do. Because when I went home recently, my dad asked me like, oh, what do you want to do with your life? And I was just like, yeah, this is what I think, where I think I'm going. And then he's like, why don't you get your PhD and then you can go out there and start your own lab and do all of these things. And I feel like some people place unrealistic expectations on us because they don't understand what the field is like, and they've never experienced what science is really like and how it can really affect your mental health.
You know, I get that. My mom is the same way. She's like that awkward, supportive way where she's like, yay, like do, because she's a social worker, so she works with people. It's like, get as far away as people as you can. Don't even be near anyone. Be in your own lab, in your little cubby, you play with your little stuff, and then like do that. It's like, you know, there's like, that's not, what are you talking about? Then it's like explaining like that to her, and also explaining that it's such a broad field that I have so much that I would end up working with people, and maybe that's what I want to do. I cannot, and that's also fine, but also that kind of idea of putting your own unrealistic expectations or your uninformed expectations of the field on the person to like be like no, but again, trying to find your voice also in your family with this is so important, because it's like you are in something that no one else does. You are the first person in your family that does is doing something like this. So finding your voice and being like, guys, it's like it's a struggle.
It's even hard to explain what you do.
Yes,
that part.
That's literally what I'm going to say, because my brother literally the other day, he's in first year at UCT, at Wits, and he's like, I forgot what it is that you actually study, like what do you do? And I'm like, I'm studying science. He's like, I know that, but like, what do you actually do? And it's the same with my parents, again, they are also very supportive. My dad also, he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna support you all the way until PhD. You can do this. And I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm not like, I do want to do PhD, but then you actually have to be realistic in terms of where you're gonna get money from. You know, those are the things that you have to consider with science. And I'm not trying to say don't do science, you should do the things that you love, but also be realistic about how you're going to go about it. Because like I'm like 24, turning 25 soon, so I need to like again, that is pressure that I'm putting onto myself.
That's the world.
Girl, you need to get your
own job.
You need to get a job.
I think it's just like Stan Bosch. Like I think I saw that tweet you retweeted of like everyone here is like already planning their wedding. Like by first. And you're like lives together. In the span of like 3 weeks, 2 people that I know got engaged. I'm like, for what? I'm here having a panic attack and you're engaged in graduation. I'm like, what the heck?
Welcome to science. We are not thinking about marriage right now.
I need to think of how I can keep my experiment going.
And my cells are dying. Like, you know, congratulations, I guess.
So I think that is clearly that we're just misunderstood in the science realm, because again, it's something that we also I don't want to speak for all of us, but it's something that we also didn't realize going into physiology, because physiology is actually such a broad definition, terminology. Like it's just so broad. So having to plan your future with regards to physiology is difficult. Like I was trying to apply for different programs everywhere, and I'm just like, you guys have it so narrowed down. Cell biology, molecular this, and I'm just like, bruh, I do all of these things. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So it's just like, so which one do I go into? Because then it just like narrows you down. And I love the fact that we have such a broad degree, because we get a little bit of everything to decide what we want to do. But then again, that takes so much time.
So much decision fatigue, because you're just like, what do I do?
And like also like for the future in terms of employment, I think like South Africa, I wouldn't say it's the hub of science. Like, and there is. Do you think as a scientist, there's this battle between trying to grow your country and trying to grow your career? And if you want to grow your career, realistically, you have to leave South Africa. But if you want to grow your country and grow the science, you have to stay. So do you think there is that battle within yourselves or not of, should I stay further and study? Should I go? Like, how do you feel about like that kind of ideology of like employment in future within science?
Okay, you're still chewing.
Chew on this while wait for the answers.
So it's actually funny, because I was thinking about this like 2 days ago, because I would like with the course that I'm doing now, the workshop, one of the things they were speaking about is how South Africa actually has a deficit of how many PhD students actually graduate from the universities. Yeah, like we actually don't produce PhDs in South Africa. It's quite bad. So, it got me thinking about like, oh my gosh, like I actually need to, because I'm not gonna lie, me guys, I want to go. I want to leave. I want to explore the world, explore different labs. Like, I want to be in the labs that I see in the TV, guys.
Yeah.
The high-tech ones. Yeah, bro, where I have my own lab bench and own like office
Where I
and
won't
everything.
get stuck in the lab.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
We've been trapped twice.
So many
like,
times.
actually, I've been trapped twice in the lab. Like, I couldn't get out of the building because I forgot my student card in the lab, and you need a student card to get into the lab.
Oh wow! I thought it was ESCOM. I feel like it's
No, the
okay.
TC, the tissue culture lab, like you need a
Oh,
student
okay.
card. So it was inside my lab coat in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I was busy on people's statuses. People are like, who's that?
I'm so sorry.
I posted that. Kimmy's locked in the lab.
And then my first reaction was again because I thought it was a different Kim.
No, but it was again definitely because it stays
It
happening
happened.
to me. I actually have like an extra student card now.
Oh wow! Wow!
But yeah, like we want some high-tech labs where we can like, fingerprint. We don't need to carry other things. Not to say that our lab sucks. Not saying that.
We
Tell them
could
what's
do
right.
better. It's okay, they're trying their best. I appreciate it.
But there's definitely a need to stay in South Africa and improve our conditions, especially to motivate other people to also want to do science. Because what was the news saying? Was it the president who was saying that they just finished getting the go-ahead from J&J to actually produce the vaccine
Oh yeah.
in South Africa? Like that should have happened a long time ago because we have the labs, but we didn't. Okay, there were not enough facilities, I guess. I don't know, but we have labs in South Africa. Surely we could have been doing this, and that means again, if there is a deficit, then we, the youth, have to be filling it up, because if this happens again, then we need to be prepared. We're scientists, we need to do the things, but we're not those kinds of scientists.
Yeah.
Not us.
Not us.
But they did.
Yeah, I also think I always battle between wanting to stay and wanting to leave, because one of the things that got me into science and biomedical science was how I've noticed how our healthcare system is really terrible, guys.
Yeah.
And one of my things that I'm really, really interested in and passionate about is like improving healthcare in South Africa, and not just South Africa, but especially the marginalized communities in South Africa. So I'm always just like, yes, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get my degree, I'm gonna get my PhD, I will change policies. And then at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but where are you gonna get the job to change those policies? And you need like higher training, and sometimes it just can't be offered in the places where you are, because you'll approach this person and they'll be like, yeah, but we don't do that here, or something like that. So I'm just like, I do want to go away, but at the same time, like, I know that our country is definitely gonna need us. It's just, if they create jobs for us, we'll stay.
Yeah.
We'll stay.
Ish. Like, oh sorry. No. No, I just want to say, because like for me also, I want to go into ethics more than anything, just because like kind of that similar kind of mentality. Ethics is such a field that not a lot of people think or really consider, because it's like not the fun part in a sense. So it's like it's very much like skip over it and be like
So important.
yeah, and it's especially for equal treatment of people and animals, and just living beings need to be fought for and appropriately like cared for. But again, with the idea of like training and that, you usually have to link up with like an international business, and then that business usually wants you to not base yourself in your home country, probably to their headquarters. So it's like yeah, I really want to do this because there's a specific reason why I want to, especially in this country. But it's like, okay, make it, then I go, then I come back. But then by the time I come back, I'm really like nationalized to that country. That's like your home country now. And it's like, there is this pull of like realistically thinking about your future, but also like fantasizing the future you could have in this country. Because it's like, even with all its faults, Africa is such a beautiful country, and it's such a country that needs more people to fight for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we all lead with our qualifications, if we all lead with our skills, and we don't improve healthcare, they're all like cure cancer, or what is this all for? You know, like I know like we don't study that we study because you love a specific topic, but you also hope that your studies can influence and help others. So it's like that battle of home and mind. It's like, it's constant. Like I always tell myself I have time. I'm only like first year masters, but like realistically, I don't have time. I don't have time to like think of like PhD or let me do a course in this or that or whatever. But yeah, it's hectic. It's really hectic.
It's a lot to think about.
And then it's like, okay, just like pivoting off that, like you say, you mentioned like you're 20, you mentioned like earlier that science doesn't really give you a time to have a social life, or kind of do kind of what normal people are doing around your age, like getting engaged, or having friends, or having meetings. But like, do you sometimes feel, when I say FOMO, in a sense of you feel like you're missing out on life, that you're missing out on milestones that you feel like you should be hitting, like social milestones you should be hitting now?
I'm not gonna lie, there's 100% FOMO, but my FOMO is not on getting engaged or married or having children, it's getting money.
Yes! I want a job.
If they could pay us for masters, I'd
Guys, like, come on. Yeah, that's literally my FOMO. That's it.
Yeah.
For me, like when we did our honors last year, we spent majority of our time in the lab doing experiments, working from 8 in the morning until 8 to 9 p.m. By the time like the weekend comes around, you're too tired to hang out with your friends, or you still have to run an extra experiment on the weekend. I was in the lab on Saturdays and Sundays sometimes, so I had to cancel on a lot of my friends. Like if we had plans before I knew that I was going to be in the lab, I'd have to be like, I'm sorry, I can't do it anymore, or I'm too tired, I think I'm going to catch up on some sleep.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of my social life took a back seat in my honors year, and I'm kind of worried that it's still gonna happen with masters, but at least I have friends in science, so it's okay.
I mean, the reason why I don't have FOMO with having children is because my cells are my children.
Yeah, it
They
feels like they are your
temperamental,
children.
They die, like
Children
die. I mean, you have to stop them from dying. So there's just a lot. Like you think they're going to be ready for an experiment, jiggy, they're not. And then you're just like, shucks, that's another 3 days.
Yeah.
I guess for me, it's like, I do have FOMO, but also it's like also realizing the value of like true friendships you have, because you realize you surround yourself with people who understand that you're busy. Okay, I don't have time. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you have someone who's like, anything you always so busy, and I want to, it's like, girl, I'm here struggling. I'm struggling. Yeah.
I'm trying to save the world.
Yeah, to cure diseases and whatnot and such forth. So why are you bothering me? But it's like, I think you really value the idea of like true friendships and true social communication and interaction, because it's like you realize when you were younger how like frivolous things were when you did like I remember going to someone's party. My man's party was like, yo, my cousin, we have to go see Bamban's thingy. Now I don't care about my man.
Yeah.
I want to see him. But it's like you realize like the beauty of actual like communication and connections that you have with people, because they are with you through this like struggle that you're going through, and they're still there afterwards, and you realize like, wow, this is like actual true friendship and true kind of camaraderie. It's a big word, sorry. Camaraderie. And it's like you value people more in your life when they're willing to kind of take you as you are at the moment, you know. So sometimes dating also is so hard, especially for me. Like I'm single for y'all. And like now I'm like at the age where I'm actively dating. But it's like I'm gonna say the bad word now, but like niggas out here. Like they're always out here like wanting you to like go out and like I can give you time, but not all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to understand that I'm a busy girl and I don't have time for you.
Yeah.
Like you're cute or whatever, but I don't have time for you. And understanding that also you're valuing yourself in relationships, in all kinds of relationships, also is like a good thing to start growing.
You also get to prioritize the most important things
for
you.
Boundaries. Boundaries are really important.
I feel like we're gonna go into another conversation. Another day. If you could tell, I'm gonna say that matric you, who didn't know what was going on, your future was going to be, who didn't know where you're gonna go. If you could give them one advice to get them through the past 5-7 years, what would you want to tell them?
I think I tell matric me not to take myself so seriously, because I went through so much unnecessary stress that I shouldn't have gone through at that point, and like mental breakdowns that weren't necessary. Well, it was necessary in that moment, but I just feel like don't be so hard on yourself and don't take yourself that seriously, because things will work out. And sometimes it doesn't work out the way that you imagined that they'd work out, but it's still gonna work out regardless. So live life, don't take yourself too seriously.
For me, I was very, very playful. I'm okay with that. What I would tell myself is actually to be more confident in my own ability. Like, I didn't apply for bursaries because I didn't think that I deserved the bursaries, but I played myself because I could have been living that NRF life for a long time. Guys, before they changed the policies, NRF was the bomb. You used to get an allowance, but anyways, it's fine. Really, that's what I would tell myself is don't take myself for granted. I shouldn't not believe in myself just because I'm seeing other people excelling. It doesn't mean that I can't excel. Like, I put myself into a box, and that has a lot of repercussions in terms of having to undo all of that, you know, because now like we're so much older and it's just like a box and then another box and then another box, and then you have to dig through all those boxes. Like, believe in yourself. That's what I would tell myself. And be courageous. Like, apply for whatever it is, do whatever it is. Like, even if the chance of you doing that thing is like not gonna, like, if it's slim to nothing, do it still, you know. And rejection is not a bad thing. Rejection is good. I don't want to say it's good, but it is good. It actually helps you toughen up and it makes you more courageous.
It does hurt though.
It hurts, yes.
But you learn through it.
But you learn through it. You get those scars, and scar tissue is definitely much harder. Is it harder?
Yes.
It's much harder than your skin. So accept it, you know, get rejected and then get back up and then do it again. But if, like, you also need to know when to stop.
That's the thing. I think for me it would be you have your own race and stick to your own race. I think this, I mean race instead of black race, not like race instead of black race. I feel like
your race.
Like your race. I think it's like, I fell into that thing of comparing a lot when I was younger. Comparing myself to others, saying that why I'm not achieving as much, or why can't I do this, or why can't I do that. Really, like, it dampens you break yourself every time you compare to someone else, because it's like you're not them. This is not your journey, is not their journey, and vice versa. So you just like be in your journey and kind of accept not accept in the sense of like just be complacent, but accept and learn from where you are at the moment right now, because it's like you never know where you are right now can take you, because it's like, I know when I first started, or like when I didn't get what I want, I was like, what am I gonna do with my life? My life is over.
We're in it together.
I was like, and I remember like I felt like I wasted a lot of my first year, especially trying to chase this thing that wasn't mine, and then realizing the ideas between not giving up on a dream, but being realistic of where you are right now and making the most of what you have at the moment. Because yes, you may have gotten all these ideas that you may have for your future, and they might not pan out exactly like you wanted them to, but the road that's been open for you can give you so much if you just allow yourself to be in it, allow yourself to experience stuff, allow yourself to explore, as Kimmy said, to be courageous, and just like not fixate on on one thing, like actually
have those blockers.
Like go into spaces, fall, get up, try again. If you still want to do what you wanted to do, great, you can do it, but then don't rob yourself of opportunities because you are too fixated on one goal. You know, it's like, enjoy life. I know it's Corona.
Do
but
like sites.
Enjoy life, guys. You're so young. If you're like a mature, if you're like 18, 17, 19, you have so much time. You have so much time. So just like go in things, experience life. Don't limit yourself to like your own like self expectations. So yeah.
Of course, get all the good marks.
Still work hard, but also don't make education your be all and end all. Because I know some people are just like, I also go through this. Like I have to ask myself sometimes, like, who am I outside of science, or who am I outside of my education? Every time, you even heard when I introduced myself, I was like, hi, my name is Nsuka, I'm a master's student, because sometimes you just can't see anything other than your education. And I think I'd also tell myself to step out of that and find my identity outside of like just being a student.
Totally. Well, that was great conversation. Had a lot of growing moments here. I hope that this forum or this series that I'm creating actually does inspire all of us to kind of grow in ourselves and who we are, and not let lockdown diminish our growth and diminish our process of growth. That through conversations like this, through other conversations about religion, about relationships, about just life, that we can grow and be more holistic, full people. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, follow them on their social media. I guess I'll put them, like, I think it's probably going to be on Instagram and on YouTube. I'm going to post this because it's like, that's where the kids are. So I'm going to post it there. So I'm going to put their social medias on that. Follow me too. Like, if you went on their social medias and you came to me, follow me, please. Thank you. That's a demand. Thank you. And yes, join me next week where I come with another topic that I haven't thought about yet, but I will. It will come. But yeah, thank you, and have a good day. Bye. Wait, pause. I'm actually recording. Sorry, I just went through like the whole conversation. And
imagine.
Okay.
I found out that this is the whole heart, and that's the aorta and the veins.
This is Rafacha. But when you have this, everything in life makes sense.
It's getting better. I think it's starting to get better.
So yeah. I promise you will know.
Of course, this is